We as the Nishkam School Trust have wanted for many, many years to go into education, probably for over 10 years as a group, as a charity, but never had a means to go into education. We felt there's been a strong need and a strong requirement in our communities to not just have an education model which was strong academically, but to make a real difference in how we are as people and who we are as people. For example, the way we interact with people, the way we are with our parents, with our families, with our societies, and who we are as leaders growing up in this world. We felt that having a very strong foundation of values and character was something that we could approach in a faith and a multi-faith way. So our schools are set up in a very common approach. It doesn't matter which faith you are. It doesn't matter if you're of no faith. Our common bond is our common values. So our entire curriculum is focused on making an education which is founded on strong values. So whilst we are of Sikh origins, most of our pupils currently, in the early years, we've been open as 3 sets of free schools now for 3 years, and around 87% of our pupils are Sikh currently, or Sikh origin. We know that every year that goes by, more and more non-Sikh people apply to the school. We of course have to prove ourselves educationally and provide a track record for parents to want to apply. And we think as the years go by, we're becoming more and more successful. In terms of our teaching staff, I would say approximately 70% of our teaching staff is non-Sikh. Our executive principal, Mr. Terry Green, who runs our staff across all three of our schools, is a wonderful leader and provides a very strong platform for our teachers to follow suit on. A strong part and a strong ethos of our community is the volunteering aspect. We feel strongly that we want to contribute to society, and we've been doing so as a community for the last 30 years. Our place of worship serves approximately 20,000 free meals every single week, and as an extension from there we have a strong community effort that goes into building some of our schools. So whilst the EFA and the DFE provide some strong funding for our schools, we want our pound to go that much further. So we as a community have probably inputted approximately over our 3 schools about £2 million worth of volunteering and funding to make them the buildings that they are. We believe that our schools are not here just for the next 5 years or the 10 years, but we're looking into the next 50 and 100 years. And so those environments that we build are conducive to the type of education we're trying to provide. We're very fortunate, led by our patron, that our community collaboration for the last 15 years, we've been very fortunate to partner with many organisations, and we are seen as a strong multi-faith partner. We believe very strongly that our single common identity on this planet is being human. Before even being of different ethnic origin, being of different countries, different communities, even of different families, that our common bond is being human. And so that common bond uniting us in a very strong way is our common purpose in life. We always ask ourselves our strong purpose in life, where we've come from, where we're going, and what we're to do while we're on this planet. And that's what really drives us, that's what unites us. There's so much commonality between us that we feel discussing and sharing those opportunities and having an environment to share those for our children is the way forward, rather than having schools that actually do not discuss or do not share those values that we so strongly share. So over the last 30 years, as we've grown as an organisation, originally we started off with no community. We were individuals, but in this area of Birmingham, with poor employment, we suffered as a community with employment, with issues around alcoholism, issues around poor education. We got together as a community where we felt providing a platform for self-help and providing a gurdwara where people could come and contribute and have a self-worth, a place where they could pray, a place where we could rejuvenate ourselves as individuals, was our strong foundation. And from that, over the last 10-15 years, we've spread into 5 centres. So initially we had a community cooperative, so those people who couldn't find employment, we had a hardware store for people to come and work. And then we built onto that a civic centre to allow us to have many of the projects that we have across the country. And then we've gone into education, and our final centre is our health centre, and our health centre provides a very similar common values approach for the whole community. So when we went into this project of free schools as a faith school, we were very determined that we wanted to be an inclusive body, an inclusive school. We wanted to take an approach which was slightly different to other faith schools. Our premise that we as Sikhs know the only correct way forward in terms of a religious path is absolutely not true for us. We believe very strongly that other faiths have equally a very well important guided route to get to salvation. So we, in our model of education, wanted to replicate that, where we believe as a community that it is equally important for a Muslim, for a Christian, for a Hindu, to have a system, to have a school which allows them to develop and deepen their faith, as well as opportunities in a timetable where we come together as a multi-faith community and we share collective worship. We don't find it difficult to pray in front of each other because it deepens to see somebody else pray in a Christian or an Islamic way, deepens my own faith. And we feel that providing that environment for children, which is not apparent or not available in certainly my schooling when I was growing up, but that model really doesn't exist, it's a much more positive way of going forward, rather than having a system which by default is a secular system which just does away with not talking about these issues.